Hello and welcome to my first attempt at doing a YouTube tutorial of any sort. This spawned from recently figuring out how to do a CNC through the SnapMaker with Fusion 360 instead of just a standard vector image. So let me kind of cover some of the problems that I had and we'll go from there. We'll start here, just the SnapMaker webpage. We'll go to support and downloads. From downloads, we'll scroll on down to the configuration files for the Fusion 360. We'll go ahead and download them. As you can see, I've downloaded them a bunch of times already. Alright, so once you download them, if you have a Windows machine, you're kind of stuck because you don't really know what to do with the .gz file. So what you can do is a .gz file it's kind of like a zip file. It's not in a format that you would know for Windows. So what you can do though is get 7-zip. It's going to be 7-zip.org, and it can go ahead and it can extract it for you pretty simply from there. And so I extract it here. Once you have 7-zip installed, you can just right click on it. Even though Windows makes it look like it doesn't know what to do, you can still just right click on it, 7-zip, extract here, or extract to here, or extract to. This is what I did down here. I just renamed it. You can see here you get your library files, a little readme. The readme just tells you to go to the manual, which I already opened up in another tab, and you have your tools and your .cps here. So we can close this for the moment because we know it's in download SnapMaker Fusion 360 config files. We can go back to here, say okay, good here. Our 7-zip, which we already used, so we can close that. And then we have the other from the README file, which gave you the link to here, generate GCode Fusion 360. And it tells you to download Fusion, install Fusion, design the model you want to carve, and it gives you kind of just a generic letter S, which really didn't do a whole lot to help me. So, because I didn't have any just generic letters, I went with a 3D model, an STL file, and went with that. So you can see where they have have an S, then you extrude it, which is you take a flat model, you make it three-dimensional. They want you to then generate toolpaths using CAM, which these pictures are outdated, so they don't really help you currently with how Fusion 360 looks currently. So we're going to go through all this here. Let me open Fusion in the background. See my kids doodling. Scan those in for background art. Alright, we're going to keep going down through here. We can already see the milling, which we don't need all this because we don't have an S. The contour, we're not looking for all that. Select your tools. So, it wants you to import a tool library. Your tool library is actually just going to be it's in here, your tool library. This file that you just extracted is what it's looking for. So that's what it wants to find. So we need to remember it's in my username, downloads, here. So, go into Fusion. So we'll set up something to tool. So let's do this. Let's go insert a mesh. I'll show you something else later. That's the one I'm going to do. I'll cover what I'm doing in here in a separate video on how to set up toolpaths and everything else. This is just to get the format. Now when it comes to Fusion, there's still a lot I have no idea what I'm doing. This is one of the knockers from Labyrinth. I did it about the size of a quarter. I thought it turned out pretty decent. So if you want to do some tooling, you need to go to Tool, and it wants you to then import a tool library. So you have new mill tool, new holder, turning tool, all these other things here. So let us, as you can see, I already have SnapMaker here. Import tool library. So let's go to all. Local import tool library. So let's see here. I'm going to make downloads today. You can see I have my tools here. I'm going to click on that guy and hit open. Now I have it here a second time. These are the ones I just brought in, and these are going to be your standard CNC tools for your SnapMaker. They're pretty easy to figure out. You can look at them really quick and be like, I don't know what they are. You have your V-bit, which is pretty simple to figure out. So let's pull up the bit so we can make sure we have an understanding of what we're looking for. Oh, store what we're looking for. Products. Don't need a coupon. Get out of here. Parts and accessories. There we go, bits. So when you're looking here, you can see you've got your 1.5 millimeter flat end mill, which is going to be this first guy here, 1.5 millimeters across. It's a flat end mill. It's flat because it's flat across the bottom. And then next you're going to have your 3.175 millimeter 30 degree spot drill, which is a V-bit. If you look here, that'll be this guy. It's pretty easy. It's got an angle on it. And then you have this guy, the 3.175 millimeter ball end mill. So it's going to be this guy right here. Now they're easy to tell which is which because you can see that just by size alone, this guy is 1.5 millimeters and it's flat. So you have a flat, you have a V-bit, and a ball end mill. So your flat guy is going to be flat there. Your ball is kind of semicircular there. It's not flat across, kind of arched like a ball would be. And then we have the V-bit. You can see it makes a very distinct V shape. So that makes that easy to figure out which one is which. Alright, so these are your three separate bits here. So that's the quick and easy way to actually get the tools imported in here. So that makes that pretty quick and easy. So that's not bad at all. Okay, so next you need to get into adding in the config files, which is your next set of files for. We've done the tool library, and now this is the one you need here, the .cps file. That's the one you need to get inside of Fusion to be able to get the SnapMaker out, the format out. So as I did adaptive clearing, what it's doing is it's just setting up toolpath based upon the default parameters that were set. I didn't adjust anything, so I didn't really pay attention to what format it's doing. And you can see the progress here. It's about 40%. So this thing, I think this file here is set for about 220 millimeters wide or so. No, probably a little less. Probably about 200 millimeters wide, maybe. And what it's going to do is it's setting up how to carve that out with that very small bit, the 3 point. I'm gonna pick the ball. So the ball end mill here, this guy, the 3.175 millimeter. So it's to figure out how to carve that out here, which is going to take a while because this is a very large project for such a small bit. So some of the things I don't know how to do, and that'll be in a different video, is I don't know how to change size of models within Fusion 360 yet. I haven't gotten into any of those steps yet. There we go. This is done here. So we want to post-process this. Alright, so we want to do some setup here, your config folder. Let's open a folder, because I'm going to point it to the new folder. I already have it going somewhere where that works, but let's go to the one we just downloaded, which is in my downloads, my SnapMaker Fusion 360, and this guy. Oh, that's that guy. So it just needs a folder. So all we got to do is just change the direction of the folder. We don't need to dig through like I just was. So downloads here, select folder. Boom. Now it knows what to do. You're going to get two options here. You're going to get like this dot one or the one with Marlin. That's the guy you want to choose. It's going to give you everything you need down here. So that's the file that you're going to need there. So What we can do with this guy is we can then get this set correctly to the Marlin. We got a name down here, output folders, where it's going to output to. Let's output it back to just where we had that other one download to, so everything's all in the same place. Let's go there. Oh, I keep hitting open folder. I need to just hit the dots. So we're going to output currently to downloads, SnapMaker, the Fusion one that we did just now. We're going to select that guy. We're going to hit post. We're going to name it tutorial. Well, that's doing its thing. It's going to give us the wonderful G-code file it created. We will let SnapMaker open, and you can see it literally just creates a giant G-code file with all those settings in there. You can see the toolpath here. So something this size, or this small of a bit, is going to take a long time. What is the machining time? Probably going to be like 3 days. 113 hours, like 4 days, which is chaos. There's no need for that. There's no need. Normally you have a giant bit to clear this out. Right, SnapMaker. Let's set this up for a bigger SnapMaker. So that way our bed size is bigger. Alright, let's just upload some G-code, shall we? Go back to that file we were in. Alright, that's currently opening, so we'll see how that turns out. There it is. So you can see, zoom in and out, you can see all the work it's going to do. So this is not a file I would actually do on this printer because I would have, usually I would take a larger file. So you can see the surface is actually where you set your origin to. So what you want to do from there is just set your bit just above the paper. But we'll cover it later. So hopefully this gives the initial how to use the get the files just for the configuration portion of everything done. Hopefully. And then we'll see how that goes. Alright, good luck.